this is Bruce Music here, and I'm in Port Owen Harbour, which is just outside Cape Town, South Africa. And today I want to teach you a new technique that I've learned called trim tabbing for how to turn your life around really, really fast. Have you ever noticed that most people go through life and nothing really changes for them much? They keep doing the same things over and over again, and then they tend to die. You know, if you want to change things in your life, it's often quite hard to go from perhaps being broke to having a lot of money, or to go from being fat to being thin, or to go from being single to being in a relationship. Most people find these kind of changes pretty difficult, and here's why. Usually we've gained so much momentum doing things our old way. So if it's being overweight, we've gained so much momentum eating junk food that to suddenly change our diet to start eating healthy again and exercising 5 days a week just seems like such a lot of effort that we don't do it. Well, I was recently at a seminar, and one of my mentors was teaching me this amazing technique called trim tabbing for how to make changes in your life really fast. So let me first explain to you what a trim tab is, and then I'll tell you a little bit about this amazing technique called trim tabbing. So a trim tab is essentially a rudder on a rudder. If you've seen an airplane or a boat rudder, I'm on this boat right now, and I'll show you the trim tab in a moment. You'll see that many boats actually have a little rudder on the end of the rudder. And this little rudder, when it only moves a few centimeters, can turn an entire ship around. Well, what does this rudder do? If you imagine this boat that I'm on right now going forward really fast, let's say doing 10 knots, which is fast in boat terms. And to try and turn this boat around by using a big rudder on its own would take a lot of force. When you've got a little trim tab, which is the rudder on the rudder, all you need to do is adjust the trim tab, and the trim tab actually turns the rudder for you effortlessly and easily. And this is how big ships or big tanker ships turn themselves around at sea. They have a tiny little trim tab on the trailing edge of their rudder, which actually turns the rudder for them. So it's kind of like a leverage device. Now, one of the greatest philosophers of our time, a guy called Buckminster Fuller, applied this concept of trim tabbing to life, and he said that one person can be a trim tab for the world. So for example, where I'm from in South Africa, Nelson Mandela was the trim tab to a democratic South Africa, and we're all hoping that Barack Obama is going to be the trim tab to turning America around, especially financially. Let's zoom in a bit and have a look at your life, and I'll show you how this applies to your life. So I'd like you to consider that there are high leverage activities in your life that can act like a trim tab for your life. And when you do this little small action, it causes a domino effect of a whole bunch of other actions to happen in your life. Just like the small movement of moving the trim tab can turn the entire shipping tanker around. Okay? I want to give you an example of one of these actions in my own life. So for the longest time, for about 2 years now, I've been telling my friends that I'm going to be spending some time living in the Caribbean. And I just haven't managed to have it happen. And I was at a seminar recently learning about this trim tabbing concept, and I did an exercise where I wrote down what are all the things I need to do to get to the Caribbean. And I thought, well, I need to get accommodation there, I need to book some flights, I need to rent out my house, I need to pack my stuff in storage, and there was a whole list of stuff. And then I asked this question: what is the one action that would act as a trim tab? What is the one action that would cause the domino effect of forcing almost, or guaranteeing that all the other actions happen? And I came down to this: if I just rent out my house, the rest will all fall into place. The minute I've rented out my house, well, I have to get out of my house, I have to put my stuff in storage, I have to book a flight, and I have to get the hell out of London and move to the Bahamas, right? So what we've put in process now is the process of renting out our house, and by the end of July, my house will be rented out, and I'll be in the Bahamas. So that's an example of a trim tab action. One action that causes a domino effect that guarantees that all the other actions happen that will result in your goal or your dream being accomplished. So my question to you is, what is the one action in your life that will change your life around, that will turn your life around and bring this process into motion? And here's how you find out what it is. First, you're going to write down, what is the one thing you've been struggling to accomplish? You need to work with one item or one goal that you've been struggling to accomplish. Then, secondly, I want you to write down what are all the action steps you need to take in order to accomplish this goal. And now finally, out of those action steps, I want you to filter them out to one action that you can do immediately. What is the one action that would act as the domino effect, that would cause the domino effect in your life, that would be the trim tab that would turn your life around and cause all the other actions to be guaranteed of happening? And once you've found that, I'm going to ask you to take that action and write down in the comments below what the action is you're committing to taking. Now the cool thing about this technique is you can apply it to any area of your life. I remember when I was being taught how to windsurf in Egypt last year, my windsurfing instructor noticed that I kept on falling off during my calf jibes. A calf jibe is when you're turning your windsurfer around. And she told me that the one thing that I wasn't doing right was looking in the direction I wanted to go. So I went out into the water and I started sailing and I did all the things I was told to do, and I just carried on looking all the time, looking where I wanted to go, and suddenly I pulled off the jibe immediately, first time round. The concept of looking in the direction I need to go was the trim tab I needed that put all the other things in place. My feet just found the perfect position, my hands found the perfect position, and I continued sailing. Or for example, last month I lost 10 pounds in just 10 days. And the trim tab for me having that incredible weight loss was getting myself a fitness coach. And that fitness coach dominoed all the other things. So you can apply this to any area of your life, from business to wealth creation to weight loss to sports, whatever it is you choose to. Now, one of the best trim tabs you can get, I've found, is getting yourself a coach and altering your mindset. One of the things that set a lot of actions in motion for me is changing my mindset, especially around the area of wealth. So I've got a special offer for you today. If you're interested in learning how to transform your mindset and reprogramming your mind for wealth, I have a special mystery discount on my Relaxation for Wealth CD that you can get using the link down below this video. So all you need to do is go to my checkout, to the shopping cart, type in the word mystery into the coupon code, press apply, and a special discount. I'm not going to tell you how much. You're going to have to go there and check it out. Now I've only made 100 of these discounts available, so make sure you get one by clicking on the link down below. So this is Bruce Music in Port Owen, South Africa on a beautiful balmy day. I hope you enjoyed this video and this concept of trim tabbing. Please do the exercise and then leave me your comments down below and let me know what you think. Until next time, have an absolutely miraculous day.